What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very disgustingly dirty PT-GT on our hands, and we're going to be hopefully getting it completely cleaned up and looking good in this video. You guys always ask for detailing content, and honestly I like it. It gives me an excuse to spend some extra time cleaning stuff up, so that's what we're going to do today. As you guys know, I've been driving this car a ton recently and just enjoying it, filming, making some videos, but because of that it is disgusting. The door jambs are awful. I can't believe it. I'm just embarrassed by how disgusting it is in here. The seats too. Also, this seat's starting to tear again, which I'm kind of sad about. You guys might remember I actually replaced this seat bottom previously, and then it started to rip again. So I'm gonna have to do something about that soon. I thought about actually getting SRT4 seats for this car, because the SRT4 Neon actually had some really cool, somewhat bolstered actually seats. So we'll see if I can get my hands on them at some point or do something like that. But not only is the interior and the door jambs disgusting, but the whole car is just gross as well. So I think it's only fair that she gets a little cleaning. I got her pulled in to do some of the interior work here. Gonna be shot backing the whole interior out, but the first thing I'm gonna knock out is our door jambs. They are so disgusting. But no matter the door jambs, the best way I've found to clean them is I just use some really good detailing spray. This stuff that I'm actually using is Turtle Wax's hybrid ceramic detailing spray. It's a 3-in-1, so it's really safe on paint and stuff. It'll shine up the paint really nicely, but it lubricates really well too. So I'm gonna be destroying some microfibers to get this job done as well. But I'm gonna do this first just so that I can completely coat down our door jamb with some of this detailing spray. I'm gonna use this slightly used microfiber first, and then I'll go over a second time to kind of polish things up with a really nice clean plush one. These little vents here are often a pain, but you know, you can kind of squish the microfiber into them to get them cleaned out for the most part. And just with that initial first wipe, they already look 10 times better. Look at that, that is awesome. A few minutes later, did a little initial wipe on all 4 door jambs. They're looking a lot better already. I also did the door side of the door jambs. Something I did forget about though was the trunk, and it's pretty disgusting back here too. So I'm gonna go ahead and destroy this microfiber once and for all and give the trunk a little initial wipe down as well. I gave all the door jambs one final once over. A nice clean microfiber, and they're looking a lot better. I really need to repaint these or do something with them at some point. But other than that, they're all looking really good. They're as clean as they can be. The trunk I got better, but still pretty disgusting, especially up in here. There's so much just like dirt up in there. The microfiber towel is not gonna be able to get it all out. So what I'll probably do at some point in the future is mask off the trunk and completely power wash all up in here and everything. But anyways, now I'm gonna go ahead and do the floor mats real quick. I'm gonna hose them down, get them cleaned up so that they can dry while we finish up the interior. Usually I just use a little bit of some sort of degreaser, squirt them lightly, do a little agitation, and then just spray the floor mats off. That's usually all it takes for me, but in this case I'm not even going to agitate them because they're not really even that dirty. Just going to shoot them down with some of this stuff lightly real quick and just hose them down. All right, that's all it took. They look perfect. All right, boys, we're switching over to the GoPro now because we're finna shop vac this thing. Gonna give it a quick vacuuming out, and then we'll go ahead and hit most of the interior parts with an interior detailing spray that I have. Just kind of do an initial cleaning. I love that stuff because you can just like clean every surface with a microfiber in that. And then I might hit some of the areas like the dashboard with a protectant that I have from Meguiar's laying around. Pretty good stuff. Kind of like waxing the exterior of your car, except it's for, you know, interior pieces that you want to keep protected and make shine a little bit more. There it goes. All right, I'd say that's a good start. And I'm gonna go ahead and use a couple microfibers and hit everything with some of this Mother's interior detailer spray. It's just what I have laying around. It's worked pretty good for me in the past. I got clean microfiber here, and I'm just gonna fold it into quarters and then spray down the microfiber with some of this stuff so that I don't spray it everywhere. I don't know if you guys can see very well, but the dashboard is super dusty, so this is gonna be satisfying. Oh yes. reason I've been filming with my phone too is because I'm actually going to make this into a little TikTok for the Channel CG TikTok page. If you haven't followed us over there, go ahead and do so. You're going to want to, because I have some ideas for some TikToks, and like I don't post on there super often, but when I do, it's going to be something good. It's really fun to do just creative little video ideas on there. Kind of fun, and it's kind of a nice little break sometimes from making the longer videos. So be sure to check it out over there, because there should be some cool stuff coming up. Right now the front's done. I'm going to clean up the subwoofers a little bit. Dude, the ports on this are super dusty. I wonder if there's just a lot of dust in this old box that has kind of gotten everywhere in the trunk area, because this whole area is like super dusty. Now we did the whole front, including the super dusty dash, and it barely got this microfiber dirty. Doing this back area completely destroyed it. It's really disgusting back here. That's looking a lot better though. I'm gonna have to pause on the back seat though and wait to clean that up and finish everything up until tomorrow, because tonight I forgot that there's a car meet and I gotta head out to that right now. So
tomorrow for sure.
Alright guys, we are back a few days later to finally finish this full detail on the PT-GT. The reason it came to a halt is because the weather just took a turn for the worse. Now, we ran out of time on the day when we did the interior, but the interior has stayed pretty clean and it's looking about the same as the other day, so that's good. Been sitting here and the dirt got washed up on the car, and yeah, it's just disgusting. We also got bombed by some birds. But first thing we're going to be doing before we get started on the exterior of this car is we're going to be cleaning under the hood and do an engine bay detail. The car has needed one now for quite some time. Definitely, well, I mean, it could be worse, but it's pretty gross. So we're going to be going through and cleaning everything out. We're just going to mask a few things off first, hit it with a bunch of degreaser in a bunch of places, and just have a way with the power washer. Taking full advantage of this little tent here, got it thrown up to as a little bit of shade so that we can do this job today. I'm gonna be doing this just with a simple degreaser and the pressure washer real quick. As you can see, I already masked some stuff off. If you have plastic bags laying around, they work perfect for that. Or if you live in a state like mine that has outlawed them, you're better off selling them on the black market. I got one over the battery and I got one over the PCM, and I taped one around the intake, and I had some plastic laying around that I threw over the fuse box and a little bit that I threw down over the alternator down here. So you just kind of got to use your head a little and think, you know, what would be really bad if I completely doused it with water. Obviously everything's meant to hold up to a little bit of moisture, and some people don't mask anything off under the engine. They just, you know, spray it all down and wait a while for it to dry just to be safe, which we're kind of going to do both just to be extra safe. But those are the things that I usually mask off, and I'm just kind of careful where I spray. You know, I try not to just shoot at those things with the pressure washer or anything. Pulled the masking and gave the engine bay a couple hours to dry, and it is looking amazing. So much better than it was before. Even just the paint here on the intake, even though it's not in the best shape and it's peeled and stuff in a lot of places, it's just like 10 times brighter. Not all dingy in here anymore. Shock towers are nice and clean. I mean, it could be better, and I'll probably do some touching up with just some standard detail spray and some microfibers. It did amazing, and it took a minimal amount of time and effort, honestly, to do that. It was mainly just the masking off, and that's about it. What I used to clean it, by the way, was just this purple
Whirlpool Power Degreaser, which I use for pretty much anything like that. I buy it by the gallon, and I like having it around for stuff like that. I also used an old wheel cleaning brush that I had laying around to hit some of the bigger areas and agitate some of the nastier areas, like over on the shock towers and stuff, and the intake and around here. That helped out a lot, but she's looking good and everything's all done and dry, so we can go ahead and shut the hood down and go ahead and get the rest of the car cleaned up.
Guys, this car already looks 10 times better. It's not even as clean as it could be. Just did a quick exterior wash for the end, and already I've had it parked out here for a little bit under the trees, and there's already pollen all over it, as you can see, and a bird already marked its territory on my bumper and stuff. Seems like it's almost impossible to keep this car clean, but nevertheless, it looks really good. As you guys know, this dip is not in the best shape either. When you get out in the sunlight and the bright light, you can see just how terrible it is and how it's not held up very well through all the abuse that it's been through. So I really want to re-dip this car, do something different ASAP. I've just been kind of pushing it back as other things kind of get piled up on my plate, because I want to be able to do it right this time around and make sure this car looks as good as it possibly can. Of course, as always, I have tons of plans for this car. It's my baby. This is the one car that will never go anywhere and that I will always work on, that I will always love. And that being said, if you haven't already, you got to hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure those notifications are on, that little bell next to the subscribe button, so that you can always stay up to date whenever I upload. And I promise there'll be a lot more content on this thing. Let me just say, it might be some big changes coming to the channel soon, so be sure to stay tuned. And that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. You rock. God bless, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.